it took me a while to learn that, to learn that this is really what politics is about, that it really is about building at the grassroots level, and that that's really what running for office is about. The first time I ran, I was actually recruited to run in the year 2000, and I entered into electoral politics out of desperation, because nothing else is working, knowing full well that electoral politics also is broken. But I thought, why not try that, as a healthcare provider that had gradually worked my way upstream from the clinic to organizing to shut down incinerators and clean up coal plants, to get toxic pesticides off the shelf and out of our homes and out of our bodies and things like that. I had realized after about 10 years of working my butt off, as we all do, to try to move these things forward, and only seeing them move backwards. Let me add, at that point, a bunch of us got together and said, well, let's work on campaign finance reform. Let's get the money out of politics, because that's what stops us all the time. So we got together in a broad movement in Massachusetts and passed so-called clean elections, which provided public funding for qualified candidates, and there were very reasonable criteria for qualifying. We passed it overwhelmingly by a 2-to-1 margin, and the legislature turned around in the next year and on a voice vote repealed public financing for campaigns. So that kind of said to me, I was not political at that point, but that was when I was crossing over, shall we say, kind of crossing the Rubicon. And I realized we really had to fundamentally change our political parties and our political structure if we were going to move forward. So for me, it was an extension of the work that I was already doing, and that was healthcare work. So when people ask me what kind of medicine I'm practicing now, I say I'm practicing political medicine, because it's the mother of all illnesses, and we got to fix that one if we want to fix what's literally killing us. So it was desperation, really, that forced me to do something I never thought I would do in my life. I was never a member of a political party, had never gone to a political meeting, really didn't give politics the time of day because it was so obviously corrupt and irrelevant. And at that point I got approached by the Green Party, which I really hadn't been active with, and didn't know very much about, except for Nader's campaign that I'd been a little bit involved in. And I said, sure, why not try that? Nothing else has worked. Let's see if that will get us somewhere. So at that point, I stepped in running for governor, knowing almost nothing about state politics or politics at all, and I don't recommend doing that. But in the course of that campaign, I sort of went from a state of desperation to a state of inspiration, because when you run for office, you have to talk to a lot of people. And I discovered, contrary to the prevailing mythology, people really agreed with us on just about everything, from healthcare as a human right, to the need to create jobs, the need to have a sustainable, green, healthy economy, the need to cut back on the war. I mean, you name it. This was like in the year 2000, people were already with us before the economy had crashed in the way that it had now. So it's like, once I did that, I realized, oh my God, it's just, they are scared to death that we actually get organized politically. Because the minute we start giving people a choice and getting word out, they are with us.